approaching the park entrance. I don't think anybody's going to be in the booth yet. It's early, so I hope we beat them, but if they're here, it's okay. I've got a pass, so no big deal. I buy my national park pass every year, and next year I get it for the rest of my life for like $20. How about that? Yeah, they have there's this little booth, and then there's the restrooms. They're really nice restrooms. If you ever need to come here and use the restroom, you can do that. And here's a person just stopped in the middle of the road for no reason whatsoever, like they do here all the time. Sorry for hand holding this, you guys, but it's the best I can do. But the cool thing about it is I can do this. Look over there, the sun is coming up. Pretty groovy, huh? Isn't this place amazing? Like, look over there. Crazy. Joshua Tree National Park is a really beautiful place, man. It is beauty. If I have to downshift, that'll be interesting. I'm holding the camera with my shift hand, so. I guess my camera thinks it's on a motorcycle. It has to lean. Well, anyway. Okay. There we go. The sun's coming up. Lots of rocks here. Lots and lots of rocks. And Joshua trees. car to drive. How about that? When you're not pushing it, it's delightful. Just in the middle of nowhere, so they think they can just go ahead and leave the doors open, park the thing anywhere. It's kind of funny. How about this landscape? Hard to believe that, like, less than 100 years ago, there were ranches out here, working ranches and mines. Ooh, look. Ooh, the orb is going to make an appearance. The reason that we're out here so early is because yesterday it was 112 at my house, and today it's going to be hotter. 112F. You know what that means? Frickin' hot. That's what that means. I like the heat, but I get tired of heat like that. By about August, I'm kind of over everything. I'm just experimenting with camera angles today. That's a good shot. Maybe I'll use that one. I just have to make myself an apparatus that my camera will hang in that fits the car. Joshua trees look really cool. I think they look like Dr. Seuss, kind of. But every one of those little points that you can see on those trees, completely hard, like metal, and they go right into you. No problem. Coming back out is not so easy. And they do tend to poison you a little bit when they're inside of you. I've had that happen to me twice when I just wasn't paying attention and smacked into something with my leg, and was very nearly had to have surgery. Very close. How about those rock formations? Giant rock formations are just everywhere here. Look at this one. We'll take a run through here. This is kind of a fun place to stop sometimes. It's like somebody's here already. Let's see these big rocks. Climbers camp out here all the time. As you can imagine, they love climbing the rocks out here. There are climbers who work the summer and then they come here in the winter to climb, and they just spend the winter in a campground and they climb. I think that's pretty groovy, pretty dedicated. pump has been playing up in this car a little bit. I need to check the connections and see if they're okay. I think they're not. Every once in a while, the sun's a-coming up. We're not going to go very far into the park this morning. I just wanted to bring you guys out here and show you what it looks like. We'll do more driving from this point on at some point, but I'm gonna turn around pretty soon here. I know where I want to go. Can't believe all these cars are out here already this morning. I wonder if they're all camping maybe. Thought I was the only idiot that got up in the middle of the night so he could get out before it got hot. This camera is very kind. This car looks great in the camera. It looks great anyway, but it looks a little bit better in the camera. Unfortunately, the flowers in my bud vase have died. I put them in there yesterday and they looked great. There's a bathroom and a campground that direction. But it's a dirt road, and I don't mind driving my cars on dirt roads, but this one's clean, so not today. This place is called Hemingway. I don't know if it's after Ernest or whatever, but lots of climbers here typically, although not going to be today, of course, because I said that, but you can see the rocks. I think we're going to turn around at this point at Hemingway, and we'll continue our tour of Joshua Tree at another time. They do have a lot of bathrooms out here, which is nice, but in the summertime, in the wintertime, when it's loaded with people, there are not enough bathrooms. All right. Film a little bit going down the road this direction, because not going into the sun, we'll probably be able to get a lot better detail. See how vast it is out here? I think this is what people in England don't get about the United States. I mean, they always talk about Australia as being wide open spaces where people go fast and they need big V8 engines and blah blah blah. But the US is really very much the same kind of place. And it's funny how they always mention it with Australia but not with the US. I guess it doesn't seem like we have an outback, but this is pretty outback. Comes one of them electric Teslas. He said in his worst southern drawl. some driving footage of my Austin America on this section of road. I'll have to see if I can hunt that up and put it up. That car is so fun sounding, it's just great. I don't know if you could see those girls taking pictures of my car when I drove by. Had to give them a little toot on the blasters. Oh, the lighting is so much nicer going this direction, isn't it? A lot better definition on everything. Look, I'm not even speeding. Isn't that a delightful gauge, by the way? I love this car. It's just a stupid, simple layout. There's really almost no lights in this car at night, but if you reach down to use one of the switches, it's where you expect it to be. They did a great job on this car, man. Isagonis was a bloomin' genius in package design especially. This car has a lot of storage. I can put my entire courier bag under the front seat, the driver's seat, and put the seat down and sit on it and not even tell the damn thing is there. It's kind of amazing what it can do. Ah, tourists. I think they were from North Dakota. I want to tell you guys important things on my drive, but I'm not the most well-versed person in the history around here because I've only lived here for 10 years. But I just blather on while I drive around, and I hope it's entertaining. We shall see. Maybe I'll get more than 6 views this time. We'll see. I really don't care. Basically, my drives gives me an excuse to go out, drive around in my cars, talk about them, and blather on. And if people listen, they listen, and if they don't listen, I still blather on. I shout it into the void. That's what I need to do. So sorry about the rotten camera work. When you're trying to drive and film, it's a little interesting, but when you bring this car out here, you become an attraction. When I come out here, I find people taking pictures of the car constantly. I think it's great. Any of the old cars, I think people don't see old cars around, and they're just shocked to see that somebody would drive it clear out here to the park. But it's only, 15 minutes from my house. So I don't need to worry too much about getting stranded. I can always find a ride from this close. camera on top of the car. That'd be interesting. Do a Google thing. A lot of times when you're driving out here in the summertime at night, you have to be careful because you'll see rattlesnakes or Pacific gopher snakes out on the road because the road is still warm and they're crawling out there to keep warm, and you just run over them. So you got to be very cautious if you come out here at night. If the park is open, you can come out here at night, and it's kind of fun to come out here and cruise when it's just cools off in August in the middle of the night, or July or something, and you can come out here and put the windows down and drive around, you know, and it's just beautiful at night. It's great. But you do have to be careful for the wildlife because there's a lot of it out here. That vastness. It's crazy. It's an amazing place. Super lucky to live here. We wound up here kind of by chance. We were living in New Mexico, and I was having a hard time with the altitude because I've had open heart surgery, actually 2 now. But I was having a hard time with the altitude, and so we decided we wanted to try somewhere lower, and so we came here and just fell in love with the place. And here we are. Here we are. We're about to descend through the park entrance again. A lot of weird and wonderful artisty kind of people have built places out here forever, and it's getting even more popular now. Of course, with COVID, everybody just decided to come out to the desert. So yeah, well, there's the park entrance, so I'm gonna say goodbye, and I hope you'll see me in another video really soon. Thanks.